Hey Samford fans, welcome into another edition of Inside Athletics presented by Alabama Power. I'm John McAfee today, joined by head basketball coach Bucky McMillan as we get set for the 22-23 season kickoff coming up Monday here at the Pete Hanna Center as Samford takes on Anderson. Bucky, I appreciate you being here, and of course a lot of excitement around your program this year. I mean, you're coming off one of the most successful seasons in program history, a 20-win regular season, 2 Power 5 wins on the road at Oregon State, at Ole Miss, really started developing a student section. So the expectations around this program are higher this year. You guys were picked second in the coaches poll, right behind Furman, picked third in the media poll this season. And just talk a little bit about those raised expectations, what they mean coming into the season for you.
Yeah, you know, they can there can be massive expectations around our program, but none higher than what's in our locker room. You know, our goal is we want to do the best we can do at all times. And you're not going to win those games because you show up on game day and you decide, hey man, I'm going to really put my best foot forward today. You know, it's kind of the culmination of what we've been doing since we started last spring. And the guys have been doing a good job. I know they're ready to play somebody other than me. They're tired of playing me. So we're looking forward to Monday getting here sooner than later.
Well, let's talk about the group of returners because obviously you bring a lot of talent back from last year's 21 squad, and it starts with some of the preseason All-SoCon guys like Logan Dye, Quez Glover, Jaden Campbell's coming back, Jermaine Marshall's another All-SoCon guy. You got guys like Jaron Riley, so a lot of depth from last year's team is returning for this season.
Yeah, you know, when you have returners, everything runs pretty smooth. You know, I'm pretty realistic about expectations and what you have. You know, I know last year I thought we had a good core group of guys that I really enjoyed, was really looking forward to. They're all guys I recruited, but I also know that we didn't have very much experience. I know that the consistency would be challenging, and our goal was towards the end of the year, hopefully we had developed into a more mature team, and we did, you know, winning whatever it was, 9 of our last 10 SoCon games and making that great run. By the end of the year, we were right there with top teams in the league, you know, and we were one of the top teams in the league. Well, coming into this season, we should know the drill, you know, and we should know what's going on and we should know what to expect. So I'm looking forward to it. You know, I'm looking forward to finally having a group that's been in here for a while and bringing a lot of key guys back. So things run smooth that way. We want to improve on things we weren't good at last year. Like, you know, our road record wasn't the best in conference play. You know, usually it takes a group of returners to do well in that area. So we're hoping this year we're not just great at home, you know, because last year we were phenomenal at home. You know, we were 8-1 in the league at home. That was 1 loss too many, right? This year we got to win every home game, and then we want to be really mature when we go on the road. Still some games maybe that you on paper shouldn't steal, and that's how you can win this league.
Let's talk about the newcomers as well. Let's start with the other guard you got coming in, Bubba Parham, because you guys are going to have one of the best backcourts in the entire country, not just the SoCon. I know you had to be really excited when you got Bubba to come in here. Yeah,
Bubba's a great player, great shooter, great contrast to some of the other guards. You know, he can really shoot it from deep, and so he fits really well, but he's just an awesome dude. Like, I mean, I just really enjoy coaching him. Like, he just gives you his best all the time. Good defender, not bigger than the program, so he fits right in. You know, all of our newcomers do. You know, Chore, he's battling a little knee injury right now, but he'll be back in the next couple weeks, maybe sooner than that. Brody Boyer and Nathan Johnson, they're all just great people, and I just like what we got. I can't guarantee you we're going to win every game. I can't guarantee we'll win one game, but I know when you got a good group of dudes that have the talent to do well, and this group has that. They got good people. They've worked hard. We got enough talent. So I'm looking forward to having a great season with these guys.
You feel like this is year 3 for you here now. I mean, do you feel like this is the first time where you truly have some good depth that you can rely on?
Yeah, you know, all the players we have now are, you know, they're here for a reason, and they've made it this far, and or we've recruited them, and they fit how we play and want to play. So we have experience, we have depth. We should be able to really press the envelope in terms of, you know, pushing tempo and you know, trying to get into the other team's depth a little bit because of what we have. So our pace of play should be way up there, and it'll be fun. It'll be fun for everybody.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the opponents on your schedule. You've got some really good non-conference opponents. You've got Valpo at home. You've got La Tech at home. You go to UCF at one point. You go to DePaul. So you see some really good mid-major programs this season.
Yeah, you do. And then you go to Belmont and you go to Louisiana Lafayette. You know, so Louisiana Lafayette, I believe, picked to win their league. I think La Tech made a deep run in the conference tournament last year. DePaul, Central Florida, Belmont. They're all great basketball programs. So we're going to have to play well, you know. We know that, and we wanted to play a schedule that was more aligned with what we're going to see in conference, you know. I think when you play, a Valpo, you play a Belmont, you play Lafayette. These are teams that are similar to teams in our conference, very similar. Sometimes you can play high majors that are very good teams, but it's not necessarily the same kind of basketball. You'll see. I know that we're going to have to be able to guard the three-point line when we play those teams I just mentioned. And you know how it is in the SoCon. It's the best three-point shooting league in the country. And so, we were very selective when we were looking at a lot of these mid-majors of who would help us get ready for those early January games.
Yeah, you just touched on the SoCon a little bit, but when you look at the league top to bottom, it's as good as it's ever been, and even the teams that may finish at the bottom are going to be pretty competitive most nights. That margin of error when you're playing any team across the league is very small.
Yeah, I think some polls were picked as low as 10th last year, and we finished how we did. And then you'll see some teams maybe last year picked higher, didn't finish near that high. And it may be a game difference, you know what I'm saying? Maybe 2 game difference between last place and third place, right? So we were fortunate last year to win a lot of those close games. And in this league, when there's very little difference in a lot of the teams, who's going to step up and win those close games and who's earned that. It'll be a great league again, and that's why I think when you get to the tournament, you look at a SoCon team and you look at that matchup, and I'm more surprised than not if they don't win that first game in the NCAA tournament.
Let's talk about the student section as well. Obviously, it's something that we really started to see build up towards the end of last season, especially when you guys got on that really red-hot run at the end of SoCon play. But obviously, you communicate a lot with the students. You have direct communication with them. You've done a great job of getting them at the games. What's your message for the Samford student body coming into the season?
The message is that, we got a great team that those students are a part of it just as much as I am, And we had a lot of fun last year. So I think everybody remembers that Furman game. It was just a great atmosphere. And so the message to students would be, we're going to have success, and you may love basketball, and you may love watching games, but you may not be a big basketball fan. It doesn't really matter. The Pete Hanna Center is going to be where the party is. Right? On game night, that is where the party will be. We're going to pack it out, and we're going to have a lot of fun. And so that's what college is about. And so, those students are such a massive part of this group. And that's why you see our players, when we win the game, it's not necessarily the students storming the court and holding up our players. It's our players running up in that student section to celebrate with them because they were such a massive, had such a massive impact on the game. So we're looking forward to doing that again this year, and our whole team showing up here next Monday, ready to roll.
We're excited for it, Bucky. I appreciate your time as always.
Thanks for having me.
Head coach Bucky McMillan. Samford opens up 7 p.m. against Anderson University on Monday. That'll do it for this edition of Inside Athletics presented by Alabama Power.